Hi, welcome back to part 5. In part 4, and in almost in every part, I always point out that if you just jumping into my video, and if you want to follow this design, go to part 1 where you find the blueprints for this design that I'm doing right now, which you can download, and it's a Google Drive. And if you can't download it, then just send me a message and I send you a new download link. Hopefully it works. Anyways, let's continue with this one. If you've been following my tutorials, second, the next thing I want to do is I want to get this surface down here. I want to get this surface down here, but to know this surface, to do this surface, I need to get this inner door, because the inner door is sloping inwards. I show you what I mean. So this door actually goes inside the body, so I need to get that point line where that would be. Okay, and that should be somewhere around in here somewhere. So so what I'm going to do, because it's a straight curve, but really I just need the point from there, I'm going to make a sketch on this top plane, and I'm just gonna drop a line, drop a point, a 3D point, somewhere here for now. And I'm just gonna get like a 3D construction line up from that point. Okay, so now that I have that defined, what I would like to do is I want to get this surface, this small surface here. It's a very small one. It's basically this surface here, that goes all the way here, comes down to this spot and come back around here. It's a straight surface. It's really just this spot here. All right, and then to get that, I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a curve, actually set this one, and I'm going to make a sketch. I'm going to make a sketch on the front plane, and I'm gonna grab a curve. I'm just gonna bring it from here all the way. I wanted to click on this line, right? But because it's it needs to be a 3D curve. All right, so let's do that. Okay, so let's make a sketch on this front plane. I'm on the profile, and let's first do the upper one. Let's drop that point there. And again, I'm going to bring out 3D construction line. And press tab to get the right orientation. That by that I mean spinning this way or that way. Actually, let me show you that if I haven't shown you yet. So let's grab that construction line, 3D construction line, and then we're gonna click over there. And what I mean by tab is that right now it turns around the Z and Y axis, right? If I press tab, it turns around the Z and X axis, and what I need is the Y and Z. So press press the tab to get that. That's it. So Y and Z axis. I want that construction line to come out. Alright, and once I have that, I can jump straight on the top of it, and I can drop my curve, my 3D curve all the way from here to my construction line. I want to make sure that I click on my construction line, not the construction point. Alright, so now we just need to bring that line down. To a relatively to a straight point, not very straight, but kind of following the streamline of it. And then here, I just want to get that one here. So I'm gonna add a couple of control points. And like I always say, that the less control points you have, the better. I probably already put too much on this one, but there's a handle. Okay. I can't explain why we are doing this surface. I can only say that you will see once we get there. So I'm following that streamline there, and really I just want to get to this spot here, to this far, right? Although we can use that, we're going to be able to use that line later on as well. And here as well, I want to follow the streamline there. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. You can exit the sketch. Actually, I'm gonna go back in here. I'm gonna turn this line into a construction line. And since I'm here, I'm going to remove the control polygon. And now we're just gonna create the second 3D curvature. So we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna exit this 3D sketch. And we're gonna jump into another 3D sketch. And for that, we need a new construction line, which I didn't realize. So let's go into front plane back. And then we're gonna add that point. It's a 2D point. And we're gonna pull out that 3D construction line from that point. Oh, didn't realize we're still in 2D. Let's get out of 2D and let's get back into 3D construction lines and line. All right, and so as you can see, we're going to need the Y and Z axis. And then we exit this sketch and we're going to grab another 3D sketch. This time it's going to be a spline. Oh, well, before we can do that, we're gonna have to define our second construction point. We don't need to add a construction, we can just start with a normal curve. There, the same construction line that we used for the first one. And we can just follow that right under that one. I just want to make sure that it's just not snaps from one line to another. All right. Then we're just going to adjust our curvature. And of course, we're going to add a few control points. So that's what we've been looking for. Really, I'm trying to get as much surfaces done at crucial areas, because the more you can see there's the line that goes, the more surfaces we get done in crucial areas, the easier it's going to be for us to do the rest of the surfaces. Let's straighten that curve out. And here we just wanna be as close to the other one as possible. Well, that looks good to me. Okay, exit the sketch. And I'm going to jump over to my second display state here. and I want this. I'm going to turn this back into a curve. And I wanted a straight line down over here. 3D sketch. Because the construction line is straight. The line is going to be straight. And of course here, I want that to be a separate sketch. So let's make that into a 3D sketch as well, curve. And of course I want to add a little bit of profile on that, if we could. Really minimal one. Just so it's not sitting in a zero state. All right, it has to be a straight curve, straight surface. So let's try to create that surface. And let's use this for direction, the curvature that we created. It's not happy about that, so let's do that one more time. Instead, let's do selection manager, select this line, it's okay, and let's click selection manager again. Let's click this line, and okay, that looks out better. And for direction too, and use that line. Oh, let's use that 3D sketch, not the construction line. Yeah, I did like that. And we're also going to use this line that here we created. And that should tidy up our surface. All right. So we can use that as well. So body's the mirror. Okay, and then we also going to create another surface for the windows. All right. For that, we're going to use the curve that we created in part 4. So we're going to jump over to second display state. And we're gonna hide some of these construction lines. So what I want to do, I just want to click from here to here. It's going to be a 3D sketch. From that corner to this corner. And I'm going to jump back into my first display state. And we're going to adjust a 3D curve first. Of course, I want this to be a bit further out, but because it's on the curve, we are able to move it around. And that's probably sits somewhere around here. and it has that slopiness inwards that comes here with following kind of that line here. We need to add a relationship between this face. So I press the face, I hold control and press the line, and we need to put that into tangency. And we're just going to adjust it from this angle. So tangency didn't work as much as I wanted, or the way I wanted it. So we're gonna do this differently. So let's grab the other 3D sketch curve. Let's click on that corner and drop that on that curve that we created. So first, let's adjust the curvature from this angle. So obviously this corner, it drops below that rear section. As I'm doing it, I have a picture of the real car, and I'm getting some reference ideas from there as well. I should bring in some of that as well, so you can see what I'm seeing. So once I have that, I'm gonna click again on the face, hold control, click on the line, and add a tangency. Yeah. Oh, it's not very happy from this angle either. Let's try this again from this angle. So let's try this again. Should work. Drop it onto that curve. One of the reasons why it's good to have a second display state is because curvatures becomes invisible because of the sketch pictures. So let's try now. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so let's try it from the, do it from the top first, and then add the tangency, but of course we have to check again from the side. Yeah, so because of the tangency, it lost the curvature here. Let's try one more time. I mean, a few more times. Let's adjust it first. And let's add our tangency after. Let's adjust it from the side. And now let's adjust it from the top. And now we check again from the front plane. So now we have the good curve that slopes right under that section there. I want a bit of more curve here, like that, to accommodate that. I mean, I could add another sketch line, but then sketch point. But so let's try now. Let's click the face. Okay, so I'm gonna have to add some more sketch points, that's for sure. Let's add one here, one here. Yeah, I should have done that in the first place. All right. Let's check from the top. Right, so sometimes it's a good idea to maybe add those control points, but I'm trying to stay away from adding more than what I need, just because from experience I realize the more sketch point you have, the worse that is. So that looks good from here. Okay, I'm happy with that one. All right, and the next one is going to be from this corner here. So let's grab that to the sketch. There's an invisible curve. And now we're just going to adjust this one as well. So of course the lower section follows this line, but it's not following the top up line because, as I said, it drops below that at the bonnet. So yeah, and let's add a few sketch points, sketches as well. Like I said, I don't like adding sketch points. It's just me, I'm trying to stay away from them as much as possible. It's a good practice as well to follow. The less you add, the better. Okay, so let's just bring it up. So it follows that line and it starts dropping back after this line here. So it's dropping back after this point here. And in the back, I'm just gonna try to follow the other one. Trying to be the same bubble. Let's fix it from the top. And we're gonna follow that line here. So it's not following this line because this is something else. All right, so let's now add our tangency. Let's click on the face, hold Control, click on the line. And we lost some of the tangency back here. Let's have a look from the side. So let's have a look. Just need to bring this down a little bit more. Right, looks good to me. We can always come back and adjust it if you're not happy with the surface. Let's have a look. I'm not going to add anything here because I want to use this face to create tangency with the surface. Although I will add a line here following that curvature. So I'm going to grab a brand new 3D sketch, 3D curve. And I'm just going to connect Alright, you don't need to be connected with the curve because it's just almost like a construction curvature here. We will use a different curve to create these rear parts, but we need that reference lines. So let's create this surface, see what we have. And I want to add tangency between these two surfaces. And choose this line here. Actually, it turned out pretty good. Oh yes. That's a very nice surface. I'm very happy with that. Hopefully it turned out for you as well this way. Maybe a little bit better. Let's move it over to the end. Alright. Thanks so much for staying with me in this tutorial. And in the next tutorial, we're gonna work on some more parts in the rear and then the roof.